The next top story this week is Lexe public beta 24/7 online Lightning wallets with BIP 353, Python, and Rust SDKs. This is from Max Fang X, March 26. 15 comments, 9,659 cents. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, so I tried this out before the podcast a little bit. It's pretty excellent. I guess what they did is they have a fork of LDK node that they are running, that they modified to run in a secure enclave, or at least the parts of it that need to be relatively trustless. They modified it to be in a secure enclave. And so you can get a Lightning wallet that is always online, or a Lightning node that is always online, effectively where you're communicating with it through like your mobile app that can receive Lightning payments when your phone is off or you're gone, and yeah, can participate in Lightning transactions in a way that a normal LDK node running on your phone cannot. And it being on a secure enclave, if you trust secure enclaves and the software in it and some of the other things, and a lot of that you can verify for yourself. Lexe cannot spend your money without your permission, and they cannot rug you or steal your funds from you. You are still self-sovereign, but they go through great pains to still run the infrastructure for you while maintaining your self-sovereignty. So it's kind of cool, and it's free like most mobile Lightning nodes. And then they have this. It seems like they're working with this LSP type business model where they take a percentage of the transactions that are coming through. I was able to mess with it and set myself a 1 sat payment, which is a nice test of that. And as far as I know, that didn't initiate a channel open, although it might have. And then in order to get money back out, I had to exceed like 1,000 sat channel reserve, and I was able to get money back out. What's really cool about this is you can programmatically create these wallets. They have an SDK out, so this looks potentially competitive with things like Spark and Arc, and so yeah, I think that's pretty great. And you have more of a native Lightning construct that is just they've abstracted as basically as far as you can go into an enclave, and you're not relying on Arc, which is sort of has a lot of like novel Bitcoin things going on, or Spark, which similarly has novel Bitcoin things going on and has different like trust trade-offs. Yeah.
It's interesting, the sidecar thing. Can you explain that a little bit? Like, how does that work? Is that just like a separate? It looks like it's a web server.
Yeah, I would assume. I don't know what they mean by sidecar. It sounds like it might be a generic term for.
What are they calling that? What is that?
It might be a generic term for a server that is started as a child process of another server. And so you take down one server and the sidecar goes down. It's kind of like a motorcycle. Like you don't have a sidecar without the main motorcycle.
So okay,
so that's literally what they mean.
The word sidecar because it's like a motorcycle.
Yeah, you're like piggybacking. It's like the sidecar is like a computer process that piggybacks on a main process.
Yeah,
is how I guess that they were using that term.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So you can run your own, I guess, and you can run it as a sidecar in the cloud if you want. Lexe, if you're like a business and want to receive.
Yeah, and then Scoresby had this. What is this? Is he just going over some of the different options for it or breakdown? It looks like.
Yeah, the trust
breakdown.
Yeah, the trust that you're putting in Lexe. Basically, they can turn off your node because they're running in the secure enclave for you. They can prevent you from making a Lightning payment by, turning off your node or some variety of turning off your node or some of the infrastructure on its way to your node. You can open channels, or from LND you can open any channels you want. Lexe you can't. It's just, I believe, just a channel with them, like it is with Phoenix. But neither of them can rug you, and that's perhaps the important point. I would like to know about spending. It's unclear. I do think they can't spend without you, but I want to know under what conditions. They talk about allowing for NWC eventually, which means that you maybe don't have a signing device that's online, and somehow they're stale without you being online and approving every transaction. That node running in the secure enclave is still able to do it. So I don't know how that works, but this is just a very early public beta, and so I think we'll have more details as time goes on. And if you have any questions, one of the co-founders, Max, is in the comments there.
Brandon, how often do you use, would you ever implement this into your Green Candle app or something like that? This kind of wallet?
Green Candle app.
I mean, because you use GitHub and now and you're coding. So.
Yeah. I mean, I built a couple websites just recently. That's about as far as I've gotten.
That's how it starts.
Yeah. I mean, my question for this is okay, like, so is it, how is this different than a Phoenix wallet? For example, on like an app, or is it similar? Like, can you kind of go through some of that as much as you know, I guess, Keyan?
Yeah, the main difference. So if you have Phoenix on your mobile phone, and you have turned off like Google Play services, and like yesterday you sent me, you gave me your Lightning address or Bolt 12 or something, or an invoice for me to pay. I will not be able to pay that until you open that app on your phone.
Oh.
Because the way Phoenix works, it requires some part of your app to be awake to sign messages. You have a key to your node on your phone, and it needs to be awake to sign because it's not always online running in the background, and you might be disconnected from the internet or whatever. But in the case of Lexe, all that stuff is happening in their cloud in the secure enclave thing, which basically means that they don't have access to it. Like they can't read your key. It's kind of like we've taken what is running in Phoenix on your phone and put it into like a vault in Lexe's cloud that you only have the code to get inside, but they have like a little bit of access, certain things that they can have the thing in the vault do, without you having to approve it and stuff. That's kind of, does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And then I guess one follow-up real quick is, so I mean, now that they're obviously they have the beta coming in, but I think last year, maybe like the year before, we saw like a lot of the like Wallet of Satoshi, and I think even Phoenix like kind of left the iOS and Google Play stores in the U.S. Because of like the KYC. Is there a way that this Lexe wallet can get around that, I guess, because it's kind of running on its own cloud? Or do you know any like the details there?
Yeah, while they released them as iOS and Android apps, I assume that they could run this in a PWA, which doesn't have these restrictions yet. Like we don't yet have websites requiring KYC in the same way that we have iOS and Android app stores. But I think most people would prefer an iOS or Android app, and the user experience is better. That's why I did it that way. But I would guess if it came down to it, this would be much easier to run in a web browser relative to Phoenix. I think I would guess that Wallet of Satoshi, though, they use Spark as their backend now, at least in the United States, and that would probably do fine in a PWA too if push comes to shove.
I would be curious to understand, like, because this is not like a non-profit project, right? This is like
I believe
business.
I believe they're venture backed. They've been around for a few years. I remember when we started discussing our wallet switch, some people I think that had some kind of relationship with them reached out to us and were like, "Hey, would you use this?" And they were like, "Would you pay X amount per user?" And I was like, "No, I'm not. I mean, maybe the customer will pay for it, but it doesn't make sense for me to pay for it." And it seems, I don't know if that factored into the reasoning, but they instead they seem to prefer this LSP-based model, which is like the Breeze business model, appears to be the Spark business model. Basically, I just want to get...
I was curious what the model was.
The mode is the LSP.
It looks really great. The only thing, it just reminds me a lot of like Cash App. It looks basically like Cash App.
Oh, no, it's very well designed, and the error messages are pretty clear.
It looks like it's just like a straight... Yeah.
Straight dope, yeah.
Yeah. It's just interesting how it looks exactly like Cash App. As far as like...
And for a beta...
As far as like I'm saying it, I'm complimenting them.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Oh, no, I hear the compliment. Yeah. Having used it, I was impressed by it.
I'll check it out.
Very smooth.
Yeah, really shocked to see something like this. Human Bitcoin addresses. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah, that's the BIP 353 thing, where it's like, it's DNS. And you have
you have your Bolt 12.
Yeah, and you can do a Bolt 12 or a Bitcoin address.
Yeah.
Or I think it's not a page join. It's what is it? Silent addresses.
Yeah. It's good to see. Cool.